All right, y'all. Welcome back to the weekly punt. This is the first recap episode. Week 1 of NFL football 2023 is officially done. Monday night just ended last night. What a game that was. We're going to get right into it. This is a look at all the standings after Week 1. Some surprises. A lot of surprises, actually. The Bills lost to the Jets Week 1. The Chiefs lost to the Lions. The Broncos, still the Broncos, they suck. Lost to the Raiders, I believe. Seahawks went ahead and lost to the Rams. That was a crazy one. Packers beat the Bears. My Bengals got the shit kicked out of them by the Cleveland Browns. Colts lost. Nothing else really surprising. Just a lot of good games. The Giants got smacked by the Cowboys. That was a big one by 40 points. They're the only team that hasn't scored yet this year. Let's get right into the news for this week. Starting off on Thursday night, down here, these two. Kadarius Toney dropped 3 passes in prime time. The Chiefs obviously without Travis Kelce, so they had to lean on those wide receivers. No Juju this year, so Kadarius Toney, I really expected to kind of be that wide receiver 1 for them. But dropping 3 passes against the Lions, like you see down here, the ball is placed perfectly in his hands, and he ends up dropping it, and it turns into a pick 6. I don't think to number 32. I think to another guy off screen right here. Also in that game, the Chiefs' offensive line was under fire because Jawan Taylor, their new right tackle, just signed him this year. He's a veteran. He's a savvy guy. He was consistently lining up behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. But the way the rule is, you're not supposed to line up. You're only allowed to line up so far back from the center. And he was lining up damn near right next to the running back. He was jumping early a bunch of false starts, a bunch of movement before the snap, and it just wasn't getting called. A lot of Lions fans, everybody was up in arms about this. I think J.J. Watt had a really good perspective on it. That if the refs aren't calling it and they're allowing it to happen, why not keep taking advantage of it? And I'm sure Aiden Hutchinson and whoever was lining up on the other side of Jawan Taylor was pleading to the ref and understood what was happening. But if they're not calling it, good on Jawan Taylor for doing everything he can to get an advantage. Still lost to the Lions, though. Up here, I got my images kind of out of order. The 49ers beat the hell out of the Steelers. The Steelers are terrible. Kenny Pickett, I want him to be good. I'm rooting for the guy. But, man, 1 yard up until the second half, and you're getting smacked by 200. Brock Purdy looks like that guy. He looks like an elite-level quarterback. Yeah, that was all... Afternoon games weren't that interesting. Monday night, what a game. Aaron Rodgers out for the season with a torn Achilles. This is the biggest story out of Week 1, and rightfully so. 4 plays into his career as a Jet. Everybody's hyping it up. Everybody thinks this is the year that the Jets are good because of the addition of Aaron Rodgers. 4th play, he tears his Achilles. One of the most major injuries you can experience as an athlete in any sport. This is like a year to a year and a half recovery time. Aaron Rodgers is 39 years old. He was already so close to retiring before coming back to the Jets. I honestly don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to play football again. Watching the Pat McAfee show with AJ Hawk this morning, everybody seems to think that's like close to him. Everybody seems to think he is going to make a full recovery and he will come back and play at least another year. But Zach Wilson didn't look terrible. He was Zach Wilson, though. The Jets season is basically over. Rodgers is out. All the hype is gone. The energy in the stadium immediately disappeared after the injury. It sucks. It sucks. You never want to see a guy get hurt like that. Moving on. This is the weekly punt of the week. This is my segment I'm going to be doing on all the recaps here at the weekly punt. We root for the punters. We want the punters to do well. That's what this segment's all about. But man, Xavier Gibson in overtime to ice the game. throws a guy off of him. One of the best punt returns you'll ever see. Waves to the crowd. Everybody's going crazy. One of the best punt returns I've ever seen. That's just so impressive. To force overtime with that crazy catch from Garrett Wilson, to the defense getting a 3-and-out right there was amazing. And then the punt return to ice it. Punt of the week by far. Not necessarily for what the punter did, but in terms of a play, that was the best punt of the week. Oops, playing again. All right, predictions. This is how my predictions fared. Not too bad at all. Detroit versus Kansas City, I picked the Lions. That was right. Falcons, Carolina, I picked the Falcons. That was right. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know what happened here. We'll have a recap on that on the next slide since I am a Bengals fan, but that was... Wow, okay. Jacksonville versus Indianapolis, I picked the Jaguars. They won. Tampa Bay versus Minnesota, I picked the Vikings. The Buccaneers won. Very impressive game to take down the Vikings. That was a close one. Saints versus the Titans, I picked the Saints and got it right. 49ers, Steelers, there's no other way but the 49ers. Commanders, Commanders versus Arizona, I picked the Commanders. Ravens, Houston, got that one right. Green Bay, Chicago, got that one right. Broncos, Vegas. Broncos country was not riding that day. Philly versus New England, went ahead and picked the Eagles, got that right. Got the Dolphins over the Chargers. The Rams surprised the Seahawks, got that one wrong. And then the Cowboys beat the hell out of the New York Giants. Not shown here was my pick for the Monday Night Football game. I did pick the Bills. That is wrong. I don't know why it's not showing here. I just forgot about it. 11-5, so I did calculate the loss between that. Pretty good week 1. Excited for week 2. I will be making my picks in the preview episode coming out this Thursday, hopefully. Bengals fan week 1 recap. What a fucking week. Oh my god. Alright. The defense played amazing. For the conditions against Nick Chubb, it's hard to hold Nick Chubb under 100 yards. Against the run, I would have wanted them to be a little bit better. The offense was not going, though. Burrow had a bad game. It happens to the best of them. Didn't throw any picks. He was playing with a glove on his throwing hand. If any of y'all have tried to throw a football with one of those wide receiver gloves on, it's not fun. It's not good. Yeah, Bengals, Bills fans, we're in it together. Week 1 was awful. At least we scored, unlike the Giants. It was a bad week. The weather played a big part in it, but also the Browns are playing in the same weather, so it's not really an excuse. I'm not ringing any alarm bells. I'm not panicking. The Bengals are going to be just fine. Joey B, coldest motherfucker in the NFL. They're going to be just fine. That's all. That's all for the recap. I'll be making my predictions this Thursday. I believe September... I have no idea what it is today. It's the 12th, so the 14th that episode should be coming out. I just thought this was hilarious. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions to the Jets. To the same guy on the Jets. Oh, no. Thank you for watching. It's been a great week 1 of the NFL season. Watching football for 11 straight hours on Sunday. One of the best days of my life. And we get 17 more weeks of this going into the playoffs. Thank you all for watching. It's been fun figuring it out. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change their life. Stole that one from Pat McAfee. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you guys.